Okay, good evening. Meeting's called to order. We're going to start the meeting with a very special presentation to honor a distinguished guest. And I'm going to have Brent kick us off here.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chair Campbell. This is a moment we've been waiting for a little while. Craig, I'd like you to stand up and come on over here, but Craig Pruitt, longtime board member at Phoenix Town Schools, have served nearly 3 decades for our community, and 2 of those decades as board chair, and gave a lot of time and service to our community. We want to honor you before we hand over the goods. We do have people that want to say something. So Rick, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, you may want to sit down.
Great.
Okay. I'll go around. How's that?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Well, Craig, it's my pleasure. Really.
Long time no see.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I got a few words I gotta share with you.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to stand up or not, but it's my pleasure to recognize you.
Thank you.
And for everybody's benefit, Craig served on our school board from 1991 to 2020. And that's a period of 29 years. And I served with Craig. I came on board in 1999, so I had 21 years that I served by your side.
You youngster.
Yeah. And looking back, you were always our #1 chairperson. You know, I think you hit on, I think, out of about 30 years, you were chair for at least 20 of those years. So, you're the first person from our district that I know of to serve on the OSBA board. And I remember the night that you had to make a speech up there in Portland to be appointed. And I remember you had on a white shirt and a star and you look good.
I think it was a new shirt.
And then eventually you served as president of the OSBA board. And you kind of set the tenure for it. We got a couple other people who are kind of following in your footsteps, but you're the pioneer that paved the way for us to be active in OSBA.
Thank you.
As a Phoenix Town School Board member, you were definitely a leader. You were extremely active in negotiations. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
You met with concerned parents who had problems on more than one occasion. You sit down and discuss issues with them. And on a couple of occasions, I happened to go along for the ride, you know. And yeah, I gotta say this too. From time to time, you and I might have had a few differences. And anybody that was around at that time probably remembers. Well, I know that we always respected each other no matter what, so. And you used to say something that really resonated with me, and you said, we have to do what's best for the kids. You know, the direct quote from you.
Thank you.
Craig also has a fun side. Our annual trip to Portland, with the OSBA conference, it was always fun. We had a good time. We learned a lot too, but we had a good time. Craig and Cindy, your wife, opened up your home for our annual jazz meeting. And as I recall, you're the one who instigated the first jazz meeting. And everybody knows what it is, joint administrative board meeting. And to me, it's one of the highlights of our year.
It was for me too.
And it's still going strong, but you know. Oh, I have to share this too. I said Craig was a fun guy, okay? Well, sometimes at Cindy's expense. April Fool's Day. That was an annual thing, and we all look forward to it. We say, okay, what'd you do this time, Craig? And I'm gonna share one of them.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Public meeting, Greg.
Maybe I should sit down.
Thinking the same thing.
You dealt with, you invaded Cindy's draw. Draw. Let me get rid of this one. Raw drawer. She had a drawer with raw. And you invaded it. Not to her knowledge. And then you resized all the bras.
I bought new ones.
I don't know if we made it bigger or smaller. We did something to it.
I made them smaller.
So, we've always said four things.
Do you know what Cindy said when she got dressed that next morning? Well, she was getting dressed and she had a funny look on her face. And she said, "Oh, Craig, we gotta stop drinking red wine." Because all of her bras were one cup size smaller than what she expected.
Is he still doing this?
Yes,
Sorry, dear.
I gotta share this, Craig was the, proud father of two daughters and one son.
Correct.
That attended our schools in our district.
Yeah.
And, one of your daughters and your son played basketball and
Yeah.
both did very, very well.
Yeah.
Representing the Pirates, so.
Yeah.
Craig was a statewide leader in public education, I should say that. He was a successful businessman and a farmer. He served on various boards in addition to our school board. I know the Maximum Rotary and I believe the Red Music Festival, you were on their board. Craig has the respect of political leaders across over. You already know.
Thank you.
And all I can say, I have nothing but the highest praise for you, Craig. And I just want to close and thank you for your many, many years of service to our school district. And thank you for always being with us best for the kids.
Rick, I have. Rick, I have the highest.
praise and respect for you. And I can't tell you how much your words mean to me. You know, we served together a long time. And we both served here for the same reason.
What's best for kids?
What's best for kids? You know, every decision that we made was based on what is best for kids. And we made some good decisions too. You know, take a look at the superintendents, you know, we picked a good one. He's a pretty good guy. You know, we started out with Dave Willard. And boy, Dave had a rough start being the superintendent of our district. Because at the first OSBA conference in Portland that we attended with Dave as our leader, he walked to the Marriott Hotel desk and gave the district credit card, and it was denied. We didn't have enough money in the account. So figured that out. Then we went to Ben Bergreen, who was a former school board member and a great guy. And he did a wonderful job of leading our district and also preventing me from getting in a fight with another school board member at the time. He's an ex-military cop. And one day he got between me and a school board member because we had a serious disagreement. And Ben kept me out of jail. Then we had the good sense to hire Teresa Sayre, who was just marvelous. And I think she was only our superintendent for 4 years, but was just a wonderful, wonderful leader of our district, and had done everything. You know, she was a former teacher, and it just did so many good things to lead us in the right direction and helping us make good decisions for kids. And then to succeed Teresa, we hired this guy. And of all the, you know, in close to 30 years, I can't think of a better superintendent to work with. What a great guy. And I will give him applause every step of the way. And I will also give applause to you and this current board and the student representatives to the board. You're doing some great things. Keep it up. You know, for many years, I hoped that someday one of our students from our district would run for my spot on the board and beat me. And it didn't happen. But, you know, one of you may run for a spot on this board and contribute to the community in the same way that we all did. There is no greater honor. No greater honor than to help contribute to somebody's success in life. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're all doing. You're helping someone find their next path. And, you know, it may be college, it may be as a finished carpenter, it may be in the military. It doesn't matter. You know, our job is to give people an opportunity to find what they need, what they want. And I'm delighted to say that 2 of my grandkids are part of this district now. Some of you have met my oldest grandson, Colton Smith. He's at TMS, 7th grader, and he spoke at the in-service at the beginning of the year. He's quite a guy. Our granddaughter is doing well at the Rising Academy. And she's making up for lost time. She didn't do well in a regular classroom in Medford, but she's doing much better here. And we're gonna catch her up. Gosh, I don't know what else to say. Other than I hope that each of you will ask yourselves the reason why you're here. And I hope that reason and the answer is to make our community a better place. You can do it. And you're doing it right now. And I can't thank you enough for this recognition and this honor. Because I missed you.
We do have some more people. I think I want to invite Laura Lotspeed from Hawaii. If you want to unmute Laura and share some words in Craig's honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Brett. I unmuted. Hopefully my connection here in Hawaii is coming through to you guys. Rick said so much that I would have said that I won't repeat and duplicate that. But Craig, you taught me boardmanship. You improved my sense of humor and my tolerance. It was always about our students and our staff. I just loved being on the board with you. It was great. Thank you for all the great times, all the tough decisions. And again, that incredible sense of humor. Thank you. And if you ever get to Molokai, let me know.
Will.
Thank you, Laura. Callie, I see you're on the line. If you want to share some thoughts.
I do. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if I got myself unmuted in time. Yes. Yes, Craig, I raced back from the airport. I might have broke a couple of speed limits. I wanted to be sure that I had it and share my appreciation for everything that you did over the years. You know, you really were just such a positive force for the district. You did such a great job with the leadership. And just the way that you would stop in and that you would check on us, that you wanted to know how we were doing, if we were holding up, and supporting us all the way through. Your dedication is unequaled in so many ways. And I know that I am so appreciative of not only your leadership and your support, but also the friendship that you offered. And I don't think the district would be the same place without the leadership and support that you gave it. So from the bottom of my heart, I just wanted to thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. I also just wanted to share a tremendous leadership moment that I witnessed with Craig's. And some of you guys were on the board and many of you guys were in our district. We had a community group that really was looking at how we treat our grounds with pesticides and herbicides and things of that nature, was showing up to board meetings on a consistent basis and true leadership and chair fashion met with this group and really created a integrated pest management policy that we still use today that serves the community and allows us to be able to treat our grounds the way we need to treat them as a school district in the safest manner possible. And that was a testament to if Craig ever says, maybe we should have some coffee, there's going to be some pretty good ideas shared there. And that's what they did. And we have a policy that is in place that serves our community's desires and needs and also allows us to make sure we maintain the grounds like we need to do. So thank you so much. Appreciate your leadership.
You're welcome.
I'll just open it up to anybody that may want to share some other highlights. I think we have some yahoos back here that want to say something. Here, you can just.
Greg, I'm gonna be quick because you know about the donkey. I've been around the district a long time. So I don't want to be subjected to that, but I want to just share a few things. Having worked with you for 20 years now, several things jumped immediately to mind when Brent said you were coming by to pick up this award. First thing was JAB meetings. You and Mr. Pruitt hosting us was fantastic. I know that we all enjoyed it every time. So many stories, none of which I will tell. Secondly, the way that you worked with and treated your fellow board members back from Director Boxbeach, who's up there tonight, Loretta, Rick, you guys always worked really extremely well together. You were the model for me of what a school board should look like. It was about policy. It was not about day-to-day operations. It was hiring good people, letting them do the job. You guys provided that as a model.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciated that very much. And finally, like your leadership statewide, we heard some of that mentioned with the OSBA, but also with PACE. You were at the forefront of that. And so many of the things that we take for granted now, that we talk about now, you were in on the ground floor. So I want to appreciate you on behalf of my colleagues. None of the rest of them are allowed to speak. I'm just kidding. But you've been a great board member and a great member of the community, and it's a real model for how we all should strive to be, and what all these folks do as well. You know, give back to the community, give back for what we all take. So thank you for modeling that.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Else? Would anyone here?
Well,
Yeah.
Same thing as everybody has said, you've been a great role model. You gently pushed me into being OSBA leadership, and I appreciate it. I did not realize how much hard work that you have done while you were on the board, being board chair, being on PACE, being on OSBA. I don't know how you did it because I can barely do it. So I can't be board chair. There's no way. So you made it look easy. You paved the way for us. I did not realize how lucky of district we were. And now I do, and I appreciate all your help and gentle leadership to keep and get our district to where we're at, because we're in a good spot. And I'm thankful that you helped us get there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I should probably tell a story as to why public education is so important to me. And I mentioned it to Brent, a few months ago, and I don't think he believed me. But it relates to my parents. Because we had a conversation a few months ago, and I was talking to Brent how much I believe that a good public education can change lives. And I'm positive it can. As I look at the example of my parents, my father was illiterate until he retired. And then he a couple of years after he retired, he barely was able to read a little bit. And it's because he dropped out of school in the second grade. They had to eat. His mother had died, and it was either stay on the farm and work or go to school. My mother did not finish the 10th grade. And they got married when my dad was 23 and she was 15. There was a little bit of scandal in rural Oklahoma at the time. But they were great parents, and they gave me and my three sisters free rein to go out and do something and work hard and find something you like to do. And I always believed that the promotion of public education was something that I really wanted to do. And that's why I work so hard here and work so hard to give everybody a chance and to give every student something that they wanted to do, something they wanted to come to school for. And I hope I did that. I hope you do too.
Here with you on this school board appreciation month. And, you have I don't know if it's solid gold, but it's a gold plated gavel. You did set us up pretty well in finances, so. That you can, display in your home and just, remind you about all the, great things you did here and how appreciative we are. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
I couldn't.
Yeah, it's well deserved.
Well done, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'll just close by saying this, and it was touched on, Aaron touched on it, and many of you mentioned, but we're a district of 2,300 students and 5 schools. And we are very, when we talk to people around the state, they listen. And the reason they do that is because of the example that Craig set and the culture of being involved at the state level that you established. That is still continuing today. And every time I think about it, we just hosted a legislative reception the other day. And we're not doing these kinds of things, and we're not at the tables that we're at statewide if it weren't for the groundwork that you laid, Craig. So thank you for your years of dedicated leadership, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, hard to follow that, but our next item on the agenda is accentuate the positive.
Hey, good evening, board. Yeah, I would say, I'm curious about this is accentuate the positive. Craig, did you start this? Like, where did this part of the board meeting policy come? I mean, did every board start this? Okay.
Well, I can answer that. At my first board meeting, the chairman was Doyle Crown. And he said, let's go with this, talk about good things instead of bad things.
Ooh.
And I thought, oh, this is really cool. We did it. And, I think we've done it at every.
Still doing it today.
Hope you're not. It sure beats a list of complaints.
I concur. Well, my name is Shauna Schleif, principal here at Phoenix Elementary, and I just want to start off the whole meeting by just saying thank you, board, for being here. Thank you, Craig. I know you've been my neighbor. I really appreciate just all of the support that you've given us as administrators. You've always been super supportive of our district, but especially the administrators, and have always had our backs. I just want to say thank you. You personally helped me a few times, so appreciate that. We are back at school, and I just can't tell you what a smooth transition it has been. It just feels so, I love this time of year because it's the time of year where kids are settled into routines. We're getting all of our mid-year data to really assess how we're doing in our midpoint of the year. I'm really excited to share that this month our character traits are perseverance and determination, and I just feel that those 2 qualities really highlight PES right now. We're showing a lot of perseverance and determination towards meeting our goals. Our goal of attendance is 75%, and we've been hovering about over that the entire year. So we're feeling really proud about that. And it's such a team effort, and we have such an amazing team here. So my positive is I just want to share thanks and gratitude to our entire staff because they're doing some amazing things, big and small, each and every day. I also wanted to say there's nothing cuter than kids getting free swag, especially when it comes on your head and on your hands. And so Heather's going to fill you in on some of that so we don't have to say the same things over and over again. But last but not least, I just want to say a huge appreciation for every single one of you. I love Board Appreciation Month because it's just a good reminder to just be grateful for the wonderful things we have. And you are definitely a wonderful thing what we have in our district. Please enjoy the board games from the community of PTS.
She's really funny. Good evening, board, everybody, guests. Heather Lowe, the principal over at Talon Elementary, and I would echo everything that everybody shared about you, Craig. Like, what shining light for all of us over the years of demonstrating doing what's right for kids. That's been You taught me that from day one, when I was just like a 20-year-old or something. I remember going to a board meeting and hearing you say what's right for kids, and I'm like, ooh, that resonated with me really well. So, just happy board appreciation to all of you guys. It's no secret that we love you so much. And you do stand up above the rest in the state, and I would argue the nation, but I don't have a lot of experience in other states with the boards, but I do know in Oregon, this is the top, the cream of the top, they say. Speaking of board appreciation, we had a PTA meeting this week on Monday night. And I was discussing with our PTA, which is a great group of people in Talent, that Talent Talent Elementary gets to host the Arbor Day event for Talent this year. We'll be planting a bunch of trees. It's gonna be beautiful. But the PTA said in honor of board appreciation, they'd like to be, they're gonna put I don't know if I would say, a dedication plaque to you all during the planting, so thank you for all of your service. So I wanted to be sure that you heard that during Board Appreciation Month and not wait until April, because they wanted me to convey that right away. So thank you from our PTA as well. Those are the families that, you know, bring us all the cute kids that we love to serve. And speaking of cuteness, like Shauna alluded to, it just we had the Ashland Community Hospital Foundation come to Talent Elementary, Phoenix Elementary, and Orchard Hill to hand out hats and gloves to our kiddos. And it was just a darling scene, you know. They come, they have all these baskets of mittens and gloves, and then kids come out to recess, and it was perfect day for it because it was freezing on Wednesday. It was so cold and foggy, and they just lined up so excited. And we watched them run across the playground, and they're like, comparing notes and they're so big, and it was just darling. And so just a big shout out to you, Tiffany, for helping organize that. And today at lunchtime, I was in the cafeteria and they're all wearing these brightly colored, some of them hand knitted hats. That's just like really special to see. So I just appreciate that. And like Shauna also, I'm just really proud of our attendance right now. Coming back from break, you're always like, what's gonna happen? But we've had so many classes having 100% attendance this week. And I'm just really grateful to our families and to the community for understanding that, like, you gotta get back in school. This is a community effort. So we're hovering right around 81%, which is great. And our target is 80. So we're gonna be getting there. And then last but not least, I did wanna share that we have job next round with you. So I probably won't be sharing this, but we do have our talent show, the famous talent show coming up on February 5th at the Rose Theater. So I will send an invite, but I just want you to have that in the back of your mind because it's always a good time. You too, right?
Thanks. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kent Fuller, principal at Orchard Hill, and on behalf of the entire staff and students and community, happy Board Appreciation Month. We really appreciate it. And I'm a relative newcomer to our district. I think this is my 7th year. And I've worked in 2 other states, and I've seen boards work in 2 other states, both in public and private schools. And I can say that you guys are an amazing group and always have been in the years that I've been here. I've never detected any kind of, private axes that people want to grind, and it's real pleasure to have the tone that you guys are all here for kids and what's best for the community. And Greg's exactly right. Healthy communities start with healthy public schools. And as I said, I witnessed that in a couple states, and I'm really proud to be a part of this. So thank you for that. Also want to highlight a certain staff member, Mary Martinen is a real gift to our school district. We deal with a lot of students every single day, and some students have some trauma and they have some stress during the day, and it manifests itself in a variety of ways. But thanks to Tiffany's leadership and Mary, we implement what's called CPI. It's a crisis prevention training. And we retrained all of our classified staff yesterday to make sure that they're safe in the workplace and kids keep their dignity, and that they're safe, when they're having some of those difficult moments, and stay in school and are able to kind of learn about their emotions and how to manage them, and return to kind of their academic endeavor. So I just wanted to thank Mary for that yesterday, and Tiffany, your leadership for creating that for our district. Thank you. Casey.
Good evening, Casey Olmsted, the principal at Talent Middle School. I just keep it short. I first just want to give a shout out to our custodial staff, Anna, Mike, and Steven. The work that they do day in and day out to make sure our building is safe and clean, especially coming back from break. I know leading up to break, there's different class parties and, middle schoolers try their best to keep things clean. But so the work that they did, that we enter our building and it's, like to, we're ready to go. And then I also, as everyone was saying, just want to celebrate all of you and our board. I know. Hello. I know I got an opportunity to spend time with you all before, I guess, kind of right after I got the job, and just getting to know you and what you're passionate about and why you do what you do. And just want to say thank you. I mean, I always say it takes all of us, and you guys are so much included in that process. And so thank you for the work that you do for that. I know we have not had the chance to meet, but your grandson challenges me in basketball almost every day. So I just want to at least give that a shout out. And thank you for the work that you do. What's that?
He might cheat.
Yeah, he has been, sure. Yeah, thank you for all the work that you did and the time you did for our district. So thank you.
I'll go again. Just a quick PTR positive. First thing is I want to thank Kate McCormick and Nubia Pineda from our community care team. They do great work. And it's specifically just a day before winter break. Danny, our office manager, reached out to them. She found out that one of our families was in pretty desperate need. And they jumped right on it and they delivered some resources to that family that last day before winter break. And so that was like a one-day turnaround. So I want to thank them. And I know they helped at least 66 other families. And I don't know if Kelly's going to talk about that or not, but they do a great service for our district. And then finally, we've got our annual field trip to Science Works coming up this next Friday. So we always enjoy that field trip. And we're going to be participating in the Lego Bridge Engineering Program over there. So if you guys have time on Friday around 10 o'clock, you can swing by. You got to pay your own money though, sorry. And that's it from PTRA.
Hello, board. Erica Ochoa, proud assistant principal of the Pirate Ship. Our AD, James Joy, is out running his AD job at the high school right now. Our school board rep students will be talking about some stuff, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Having worked in other districts, I have to say this board is so refreshing, so supportive. I can't appreciate you guys enough for the work and the time that you guys put in. And so I also want to shout out our awesome community partners that when things get rough and there's situations that need to be addressed at the high school, they are willing to jump in and support us. So a huge shout out to Tiffany, Charlene, Derek, Broadman, Brent, whenever things are things that are needed to support staff, students, they are there to do that. And so also shout out to Erin Santi, who's been helping me hold down that ship with James Joy as Caitlin's taking some maternity leave. And a big shout out to our partner with La Clinica, Ashley, who is our behavioral therapist. And we are grooving, shaking, moving on some things. The kids have talked a little bit about this before, but we are doing some campaigning around giving kids those tools, being able for them to self-refer, changing some systems to support students around mental health and behavioral health, and for them to know and be able to empower themselves to connect with those services at the high school level. So we're really excited that we have that partnership. That's all from my side of the partnership.
Hi, Amy Hans here, food service, and I just want to take this time to thank John McCall and his team, both facilities and custodian, for all of the extra work, all the little work tickets that we put in as food service right before break, all those extra deep cleaning things, and they just got right on it. And I'm actually also excited to say that along with all of those, they were also installing some more new equipment. So we will be starting with some grill sliders at the middle school and our new slider for hot breakfast in our new breakfast station here soon. as well as toasters for the kids. So yeah, we're really excited about all of the work that they do for us and have to appreciate them. I also really want to recognize the board for all the time and work that you guys put into this community. It's easy to see how much you really care about the community and the students and staff, and I'm really honored to be part of it all. I can say I also have seen some board members in many different states, and you guys really do make it a unique and wonderful, inclusive environment for everyone, and I really, really need to appreciate that for on behalf of everyone. And in that spirit of appreciation, I would like to award from Sodexo Stop Hunger Foundation to Access Food Pantry on behalf of the Phoenix Talent School District's backpack program, $1,000 here.
Okay. I've always wanted to do this.
Absolutely. And if anyone would like to come give another giant check with me to Access Food Pantry, I'll be doing that in a couple weeks. And then last, I just have to officially invite you guys to our Future Chef event. It is set. You should have some invites in your board packets or in front of you there. So we will be collecting recipes, students, this month, and then hopefully get some winners for participation. And March 20th, we will have our Future Chef event.
Thank you, Amy.
I want to add something as well.
Oh, yeah, please, she'll bring
I'll
that.
be quick, because I'm not in the agenda.
Yeah, she's bringing it. Okay.
Good evening. Javier Del Rio, I am the Director of Instructional Improvement and Strategic Plan Coordinator. It's a long title, Craig, that you're probably familiar with. But anyway, Craig, I wanted to take a second to thank you as well. You might not remember this, but you did hire me many years ago as a bilingual teacher, fourth grade bilingual teacher at Howling Elementary, and I'm grateful for that. I've always had some admiration for you, lots of respect, and frankly, a little bit of unfounded fear. But anyway, I really appreciate the trust that the whole board and you have placed on all of us. I think the board really understands the executive nature of the building administrator. I think a lot of people don't understand that they are CEOs, CFOs, CAOs of small companies, and they're busy. They handle everything, including 50, 60 plus staff members, 3, 4, 5, 600 kids that show up every day, and they maintain a positive culture for everybody. So I wanted to just publicly thank you all, the administrators here, for all the work that you do every day. And definitely thank you to the board for the strong foundation that you have created, for the rigor that you have created, for holding us accountable, and also for the incredible support that we get every single day from you. Thank you.
All right, anything from the board?
I'll just be real quick, but I do want to thank the district and for their help in hosting the legislative reception that we had on Monday, to be able to utilize our facility to host an event like that really makes it so that all of the districts in our region can attend that at no cost. And that's one less barrier or something out of the general fund to prevent an opportunity for gathering together. So I really want to thank the district for providing that space, and also to Sodexo for their great partnership, for Amy and Leneve, and really and providing the beverage bar for us. That was a really great help, and so thank you so much to you guys for that.
Please.
Buenas noches. I just want to say thank you to both of these lovely ladies who put on a beautiful session for a variety of the Southern Oregon school districts together. The place was beautiful. It was really lovely to get to host so many of the school board members and superintendents and legislators here in our own home. And I also want to thank Javier and Eden for coming and being willing to participate and listen. And it's always such a wonderful opportunity to get to have our student representatives show up for these events and ask questions and meet people and just get to learn this process. This is, it's an exciting opportunity for us where we can get to grow and learn and make those connections, share those ideas, and just think about some of the challenges and strengths that we all have as school districts. So, but a huge shout out to both of you for making this event possible and just creating like a really warm and welcoming event for all of us to partake in. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next item, I'm having 23-24 school year flashbacks because we've got Bobby and here. Student representative report.
Okay, so in a couple weeks, we have the pre-ACT, which I just think is a really good opportunity for. Sometimes you don't always know if that's the track you want to go on, and taking that test can really solidify that for some people, and it can also really let you know if you're good at those tests, you can get good at them free to take them. So they're only available for 10th graders, and it's happening on January 28th, which I think is pretty great. So that is happening, and then also in a couple weeks after the quarter ends, Link Crew is hosting an event to honor the freshmen for keeping their grades up and finishing their first semester of high school. So we're making them root beer floats and just like giving them a minute, just have fun after the whole thing ended. Swim hosted their first meet at Rogue X on Tuesday, which is pretty great. And cheer is having their first competition at 12 p.m. at Rogue X on Sunday. It's like a $10 admission fee. Pretty cool. Oh, and Rachel wanted me to share that she saw on the news that Phoenix High School, out of all schools in Oregon, including colleges, was the Oregon Comeback Team of the Year. So that's pretty cool. And I kind of wanted to hold some space for all the people in LA right now and all the schools because we went through that.
Okay, good evening, board. Nice to see everyone here. Feel like it has been a while. I want to say thank you for the gifts. And to you, Craig, I wanted to say, thank you after hearing everything you've done. I know we've never met, but I wanted to let you know that from like a student perspective, I can definitely say that, and I think Aubrey can agree also that a lot of students here always have a reason and a why for going to school. They always have like something that they're excited for. For us, it's like coming to these board meetings or participating in school events and sports. And I know everyone has like a reason it fits in here because this board is just so amazing at like making sure that everyone's included and even having us here to hear our opinions. I could imagine that a lot of the visions that you had are being delivered here, and especially with this great board team. And I cannot imagine a better district to be in. I've been here since since third grade. And I have siblings that have been here since kindergarten and are currently in middle school with so me and my family have always like appreciated this district and never wanted to move. But yeah, I just want to say thank you.
You are welcome.
And moving on to topics I wanted to talk about tonight is the local scholarships here are open now for seniors. So a lot of us are just starting to work on scholarships and scholarship season, and either we're working on the Ford with Mr. Reeves and Mr. Angelica Mendoza, or we're working on local scholarship with Sonia and Christian Bazan over with Project Youth Plus and Trio. We're all just in the future planning centers working, and we have a big team to help us. And it is a process that they do have this, like we just mentioned. I also wanted to mention that FFA has a dinner and auction on January 25th at PHS at 6, and there have tickets available for $25. And next week, DECA is going to be hosting a competition at SOU. And as of right now, we have about 220 people signed up between our conference and some schools around that may not have other competitions that are going to come and just practice before the state competition. So that's a big event to take on from our part. It also just shows like how much we've grown as a chapter in the last couple of years. Now we're hosting events, and so we're very proud of that. Next week, we have a Spear Week at a basketball game. It's gonna be ESPN night. So what that means is that we're gonna have, in the student section, we're gonna have a table set up. And just like if you've ever watched like ESPN basketball or football, we're gonna have a table set up, and some students, me and some other people, are gonna be commentating on the basketball game as it goes. Saying some funny stuff, maybe nicknames for our players, and just interacting with just the community. So if you guys could show up, that'd be amazing. I don't know exactly what day it is, so maybe someone can help me with that, but well, I do know that we have a basketball game going on right now, and league games are actually starting tonight, currently happening in the gym at Phoenix High School, and just very excited to see the team grow. And just, we also have other sports like wrestling that had a meet last week. So full on winter sports time right now, so yeah.
Thank you both very much. And I'd be remiss not to mention that Rachel and Eden are cheering at the basketball game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're not here, so good excuse to miss. Okay, next is a PTEA Association's report, and I know we have Lori here for PTEA, so do we have?
Thank you. I'm Lori Evans. I am the engagement and instructional, engagement and curriculum implementation specialist at Talent Middle School this year. I'm also serving as the PTA secretary. So tonight I'm here representing PTA. Briefly, just an update. We had our pre-bargaining meeting with the district on Tuesday, where we agreed on ground rules and secured dates for moving forward. And we're looking forward to continuing to partner with the district in negotiations, and we'll be continuing to update the board as things progress. And happy board appreciation. And on behalf of the members, we do appreciate you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did we have anyone from OSEA that wanted to speak? I didn't see anyone, but okay. All right. Next is citizens' comments. I do have one, and that's Rosie Ruiz. Yeah. Do we have?
Honey, will you give her the book?
Yeah, thank you.
What is your chair? Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosie Ruiz, and I'm a retired teacher. And I live in the school district. So, and actually, I think it's Providence because I worked here when Greg was on the school board. And outstanding school board. And that was when we were starting the bilingual program from March. And he was so supportive of that beginning program, how us bilingual teachers struggled to get it going, but we had always support, ups and downs, like any new program, right? And so I really appreciate that support. And I would just, anyways, what I came here today, this evening, is to, we often use the word shout outs but I just really sincerely want to say good job to the staff at I call it the preschool. I mean, they're just 110% into taking care of those little ones. I know our district has a big range from preschool now to high school seniors, now in between. But that staff is just excellent. And it's a growing staff, and everybody who's come on board is doing what's best for kids. And I think that what I'd also like to say is just keep in mind, I guess, just from my own experience, I would say in starting the bilingual program or any program, that
it is starting. Sometimes it takes 3 years to really get the roots in. And so, any support of the school board, maybe somebody here has a special, heart or a special calling to look into the preschool and keep that under their wing. I know there's been this excellent staff, supervisors going over there, really hands-on, helping roll out the carpets, and all that kind of stuff. And people going over and taking getting emotional. The lunches over there to make sure the kids fed, and that's not just the main point of it, but that hungry 4-year-olds. It's gonna be a long day, but so I just want to just bring that forward again, and that continuous support for a beginning program. And my vision, just me myself as I walk around the district, that it will be part of parent involvement, teacher involvement, in admin or school board or however we want to think, like it's a team effort for the school. So, so thank you for your time, and thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoy your little boxes. And now that I've heard about the comments of the upcoming meetings for the bargaining, and I hope that all goes well with the timing, the meetings, and all the effort that everybody puts into that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Did we have anyone online who wishes to speak?
I don't see anyone online, Michael.
Okay, thank you. Okay, superintendent report.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Rosie, for sharing about the preschool, and I know there's a lot of starting a new program is not sometimes challenging, but it's definitely what's best for kids and families in our district. So appreciate that effort. You do have in front of you a lot of goodies from our schools and our community. So I want to thank Denise and Charlene actually for putting those together and gathering those to share with you. So just enjoy those. Your annual caramel apple is in there as well. I think that's 20+ year. We should have got an extra one. I know you don't like caramel apple. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you for that. And just, I mean, not student representatives, thank you just for your thoughtful just words and you see the footage of what's happening in LA, and we've lived that firsthand, and obviously we reach out and do some things, any support we can provide, because we have we've lived it, we've experienced it, and we know what support means in that time. And just Javier, your words, Mr. Pruitt, and just kind of what your experience is, just thank you. Just student representatives, we haven't always had them, but we've since we've started it, we've had amazing kids represent our school board, so thank you.
If I could add something.
Yeah.
You just reminded me, but this is nothing like official yet, but there is like some considerations of like starting another fundraiser like we did for Lahaina with the local leadership team for LA. Just like we did for Lahaina, and I would be returning to help on that, and I'll get you guys more information if that does end up happening, but we are like looking towards like seeing how we can support in any way, so
sounds
keep
good.
you guys in touch with that.
Yeah, you led that effort very well, and that your team and your kids, so. Just want to give a couple highlights. We recently walked through the ODP facility and looked at really some security upgrades, and Don was there. We talked about some really looking at how we kind of upgrade that facility like our other school buildings. John has got on some things that we've been able to work on right away, and we have some quotes to be able to really fence in and upgrade the camera system, and really a different process to kind of make it function like a normal school too. So it's safe, and people know when they're entering the facility and accessing those classrooms. We also had PACE walk through, which is great to have. Troy from PACE walk through our facilities. He walked through the Early Learning Center. We did some recommendations. He worked with Heather Talent Elementary to look at some supervision stuff, and then he went to ODP to look at some playground and some things and had some great recommendations. And so that partnership is so great. And, you know, we've had board leadership on OSBA and on PACE for many years, and it's just so great to have that connection. We advertise, it is health curriculum adoption year. We do have, there's not a lot of options for state approved health curriculum, but we have advertised that that's on display at the district office in the conference room to come peruse those and make any comments and fill out those sheets. Something exciting is we have Charlie Hall, obviously, as our football coach. He has led and was a founding member of the Pacific Rim Bowl, which is a partnership between Japanese high school athletes and traditionally Ashland high school athletes. We have petitioned OSAA to combine Ashland and Phoenix to make a team. And so this summer, our high school and Ashland High School will partner and combine to play that game, ceremonial game, football game with against the Japanese affiliates. And so lots of events will be taking place that week. Just such a good and rich, and if you just read about that or see about that, such an amazing opportunity for our kids to experience a different culture and to share who we are in Southern Oregon. So just really appreciate Charlie and his leadership on that. I asked him as it gets closer in the spring, April and May, to maybe give a program report on the activities of that, what's going to happen. We talked about it at the work session, Bear Creek Outdoor Education Learning Space, our property down by the Bear Creek Greenway. There is a listening session, feedback session on Saturday at the Talent Library from 9 to 11. And then we'll gather feedback to see kind of what the community desires and see how that fits into what our district has planned there. But we're really excited about that as an outdoor learning space to have our students access that to look at different outdoor science type activities along the Bear Creek Greenway. And then Aaron mentioned a little bit in your packets, you do have kind of a report from the community care team, and it shows how many families and some breakdowns on how many kids and families we serve in our district. And it's so vital to have that program to be able to really point families to services that are vital, especially during the time that they need it. So really appreciate Kelly and her teams and her leadership with that program. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Mr. Berry? Okay. Thank you for that report. Next is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Dawn. Is there any objections to the consent agenda? Hearing none, it's approved. Next, information and discussion, legislative OSBA update.
Okay, so as we talked about before, we had the legislative reception, and that went really good, and I thank everybody for their help and support. And we learned a lot. OSBA was very impressed with our staff, with our students, with our facilities. They said you are in a great region. We're a little jealous. So that was President Chris Cronin from John Day. And so that was great. Adrian said she learned some valuable information that will help her lobby this session coming up. And so it went great. OSBA is having their meeting the 24th, 25th, and something like that, 24th or 25th. We will be part of the meeting will be LPC, which is the Legislative Policy Committee, and we will be going through a lot of prepping for legislative session. They're coming up with some tools. We've had a lot of people say they wanted more tools to advocate, and so we're coming up with more tools. We usually get a weekly call for directors and LPC members, and they're going to open that up now to board of directors. I don't think they've officially announced that, but that's what's gonna happen. So I was excited about that. And, we have a new legislative policy person, Stacy Michelson from Multnomah ESD, so I'm excited about that. The session will be starting, which means Sarah and I will be busy sending out weekly emails. I had a conversation with LPC, since I will be the chair of LPC this year. I had a conversation, how to make it easier for the district reps to share information and share what our region wants. Our region wants a lot of comprehensive stuff, and I think that probably other regions do as well. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna look. It's gonna be trial and error, but keep your eyes out for emails from us. And that's all I have to say. Did you have anything to add, Sarah?
No, just, thank you to Tiffany who shared for our district.
Yes.
I always learn something new every time Tiffany speaks, and just really thankful for how our district really highlighted finding solutions too. And I think I really appreciated kind of the wraparound of there are challenges, but let's look together for solutions on how we can best serve students. So just really appreciate Tiffany and her knowledge and how this district and its admin and leadership team are utilizing every resource to leverage the best for our students. So
I forgot to ask Brett McIntyre, is she to do the same like last time, those updates?
I believe no. She has asked if I would take over, and so I believe no.
Okay.
But she might change her mind. I'll let you know if she does.
Yeah, I just forgot to ask her over there.
We do have, every 2 weeks, for the superintendents with the legislative reps, and so, I certainly can give updates to it at the board meetings on that.
That'd be great. I don't know if anybody else had any OSBA related stuff, of any of you that are serving on committees.
Thank you so much. And thank you again for the reception. I know I wasn't able to attend, but.
And by the way, Sarah did a big chunk of it. So Sarah just makes me look good, and she's the best sidekick you can have. So yeah, she did a great job.
Awesome. Financial report.
Yeah, in your packet, you do have a financial report, and Yasmin can give a little bit of the highlights. We'll also, following this item, we will get into the audit report and talk about that good news too, but just, Yasmin, it's all yours.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I also wanted to express my appreciation for the board. Besides that, the great work that you do, you also make us feel welcome and appreciated in all our different positions. So thank you very much. You're great people.
Thank you.
And for the financial reports, we still have an $8.5 million estimated ending fund balance for this year. And I wanted to highlight though that if we didn't have the ADM security grant, it's $11,885,000 that we would receive through this year. It will be a deficit of 3.3 million. So just wanted to highlight that as well. Another thing that to highlight, and it will be part of the audit report, even though in general fund, we actually had an increase to the ending fund balance of 2.7 million. But I wanted to mention, that a lot of those funds came from being able to utilize grant monies from ESSER and other grants. So anyway, so I think that's it for the general funds. And for the bond fund, the capital projects fund, through November, we still have $3,024,000. We haven't been using much this year. And construction excise, which will be utilized a lot more with the TMS solar project, because $1 million is going to be applied to that grant, and the remaining 300,000 is going to come out of that fund. But then we also have incentives that will be deposited into the fund at some point, so it will be a $0 effect. Other than that, if you look at the general fund operating statement and balance sheet, that Rick had requested as part of the financial report. I just wanted to mention, it's just a different format or presentation for the financial report. If you look at the operating statement and you look at the year-to-date total of 18,611,000, it matches your financial report year-to-date, July through November, with the 18,611,000. So it just details differently revenues and expenditures and in the beginning of balance. And as well as the balance sheet, it also shows you, just the balance between our assets and liabilities and equity. So it balances as well, the equity will be through November. And it's the same thing, the 18,611,000 is part of the formula to be able to equalize assets and liabilities. So I don't know if you have any other questions about the additional reports.
I just want to mention, and we'll talk a little bit about when Rick gives the audit report, but just appreciate Yasmin. And it's been really a juggling act of leveraging funding sources. We have so many grants coming in from whether it's ADM security or, federal grants or state grants for community care. Just really managing that. Our team out here really make sure we maximize every dollar we come in. John does the same thing with bond funds, ESSER funds, those types of things. And so really balancing that to maximizing our general fund ending fund balance, because ADM security will be gone soon. We are asking for more support, but it's not guaranteed. And like Yasmin said, we'd be negative $3 million if we didn't have that at this time. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is the audit report. Are you kicking this off or should I just
All
kick it
Rick.
to our resident?
All the
CPA?
time.
Okay, all right,
Let me, here's my notes.
okay,
You can pass that down.
sure.
And, differently, I put it right down here too. We had our, committee meeting, last Tuesday. And Don Ewald, the CPA from, KD2 was there, and one of the staff members, I didn't get her name. But Brent was there, Jasmine, and myself. And, everybody, well, I think we have it. You could pull up I've got the hard copy here, and the very last page in the hard copy is where it would start, and that's page 66. Which is a summary of the auditor's results. And, the main thing I want to point out is the number one thing is we have an unmodified report, as usual. That it doesn't get any better than that. That's according to generally accepted accounting principles. Our internal.
Rick, I'm sorry, 1 second. It's page 89 if you're looking at it electronically. Well, it's 66, but it's if you're trying to scroll through electronically, it's 89. Sorry, Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I made reference to certain pages, and I may just get that part, but, internal control, there's no weakness. There's no deficiency, there's no non-compliance. Our federal awards, same unmodified, and, we as an auditee, the district is qualified as a low risk auditee, so. It looks good. That's the bottom line of what I can say about all that. I was going to walk you through some of these pages, but I think that would be awkward. I do want to emphasize that we're talking about a lot of dollars. And, for example, you look at the capital assets and you got $85 million staring at you. That's not chump change. But let me go over the other comments that I typed out here. Number one is, as I already mentioned, if we have an unmodified report, it's the best you can get. When we discuss adjusting journal entries, they are minimal or not at all. Back in my old auditing days, I remember we used to evaluate a client by the number of ADAs we had, and sometimes they were quite numerous, but here they're non-existent. As mentioned, we are a low-risk auditee. John came up with something that kind of impressed me. It's called, he approaches the audit with professional skepticism, which means he knows our records are good. He knows our reports are good, but he still has to zero in on, being the skeptic. And by doing that, he has nothing. He can hang his hat on, there's nothing wrong. Base talent, this is part of the discussion. I guess our PERS rate, and Jasmine, if I'm off base here, let me know. Our PERS rate is around 12%. But this may increase next year to 25%.
Well, not quite that high, but it'll be about 22%. Yeah.
22%. It is kind of a warning. I mentioned that there's 20% transaction testing. For low risk, it means they have to examine support documentation for at least 20% of the transactions. And if we were a high risk, it's going to jump up to 40%. And if we jump up to 40%, it means our fees go accordingly. On number 7, I do want to read that. It's the quote, because I asked Don something I could share with the board here, and this is what he said. Jasmine and staff are a joy to audit. The reports are accurate. You can rely on the numbers. There's no material adjustments. There's reasonable assurance and so forth. And this is the same report we get every year. And thank God we get this. We have problems. This today be astronomical. And I did mention here that in my 25 years serving on the board, we've had 2 outstanding accounting directors, and one is Jasmine and the other one is Doug Spaney. Couldn't ask for 2 better people. Probably can attest to that too, Craig. Okay, I did discuss this, or this year's audit fees were around $59,000. Next year, they increased another 8,000 to 9,000. And so I have 2 recommendations that I personally go to make, and what we do with it, we can deal with it later. But the first is, although we have an excellent relationship with KDT, and they do an outstanding job, and they support us in many ways, due to their high audit fees, it wouldn't hurt to get some other to see what else we could find out there, and be upfront with them and tell them what we're doing. Anyway, that's one of the things that I personally recommend. My second recommendation is that I guess we still need a motion, don't we, to accept this year's audit report.
Well, we will, no, I don't think so.
We don't need it anymore.
We're just presenting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then practice that one.
Great.
If anybody has any questions, please ask.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that for the audit, it always increases a little bit every year. For next year, it's going to be 8,000 more because the auditor said that we will have to have another single audit. As there are some federal programs that need to be audited every 3 years. So one of them is child nutrition programs, which was audited last year. and another one is Title I, since, so this year we only have the ESSER grant. Next year, we're gonna have ESSER and Title I. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and they also keep raising the bar on what is required.
Yeah.
Used to be 500,000, now it's 750, and next year it's going up to $1 million.
I also want to share a little bit more on PERS, through the board's leadership and, Dr. Spini and Yasmin, obviously. We've had a low rate, 12% doesn't seem low, but considering that has been a low rate comparatively due to the board's decision to, purchase pension bonds back in 2004. Those are ending now, and so that's why our increase is a little bit, but we've been very successful in reducing our PERS rate from there. We will work with Piper Jaffray and see if we want to do another pension bond, but right now it's not in our best interest. So next year's actually not the scary year. It's a year after that could go up 7 or 8% again, approaching nearly 30% liability for PERS. Some are already there. Some districts and municipalities are already there. So not a great problem to have, but we've been blessed by keeping it as low as possible for a couple of decades.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick, for that thorough. Every year I learn something new from your audit presentations. This year I learned how much we pay for them, so. Yeah, it's a whole position somewhere. Okay, next are committee updates. Do we have any committee updates?
I can give a Culver Road Committee
Okay.
update.
Great.
So there was a meeting today with, a combined meeting with, now I'm see if I can remember everybody's initials.
CCS, CSA, City of Talent, Rogue Valley Sewer.
Rogue Valley Sewer, and really a great team that's advocating on our behalf and bringing forth really great plans on updating the road and mitigating all of the things that need to come together as far as stormwater management and grading of the property and all of this. So a really great report from that. And I really appreciated Jay Harlan from CSA, his really keeping everyone on task so that we could continue to move forward and not stop at, let's maybe make this decision and then another decision will be coming up shortly. So the next use, Brent, is land use, is that right? Land use application is the next step, and CSA really advocating on the district's behalf to kind of get all the players in the room to say this is our next intention. Everyone seems to be on the page together, and so looking forward to moving forward with this project.
It's, and I see a little bit of an eye roll there because it's been years and years and years, but it was a positive meeting. I felt very, like Sarah said, very grateful for the team that we have working on our behalf. Super smart and talk about learning something new. I mean, I've learned more in permitting by just getting the UDB now about where sewer should go. So,
And roads, there was
Yeah.
a road degree that you had made and the
Yeah.
way.
but it was good. We look forward to, and Jay wanted to make sure that we had general consensus because it gets us closer to well, an action item we have later on partitions and things of that nature. So it's good. We'll have more to share later on that.
Thank you for the update.
I'm thankful Jay has stuck with us for all these years. Because he's been very helpful on very many projects, and
Yes.
I know this one is a little bit time consuming, so I appreciate him. Let him know.
Understood. Next is adopt criteria for evaluating. Do we have to adopt it this year? We adopt it every year. We have to adopt it. Thank you. It's been 9 years, so I'll remember that. Okay, so just a reminder, this is the criteria we'll be using for this year's We adopt it again this year for use next year. So that'll be at the next board meeting. We'll take that action item up. Any questions on that item or comments? Okay. Next is a board policy that'll be up for action next time, and that is on family and medical leave. Any comments or questions on the policy?
This is just cleaning up language, right, for the overlaps, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
A lot of these are red language.
yeah,
Yeah.
statutory. Yeah. Right, yeah. Okay, and then there's the AR corresponding AR, which is just for review. Any questions on that? J8 is domestic violence, harassment, sexual assault. Stalking leave. Any questions on this one? It's all red language as well. And then there's the corresponding AR. And then there is the sick time policy. Any questions, comments on this? Just so I'm clear, the blue language is what's being proposed, correct?
It's the recommended language by staff, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess my question is, Jessica's not here today.
She's just hiding
Oh,
away
she's
back
hiding
there.
back there.
It's over behind the book back.
Found you. I'm just curious about, I mean, first of all, I support the blue language around equivalent of a familiar relationship. I think that's really good. The language around discipline and things like that, we cleared that with legal counsel? Is that all good?
That's all in accordance with the law.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was my only question. You may go back and write it down. Sorry, I guess I should have any other questions? This policy, okay. May I propose that we take up the first two action items and then take a recess? Would that be okay? Since we have guests from the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, next is action items, and the first action item is resolution 24-11, property partition, sale and designation. So this is, we have to make a resolution, and then the next action item is the actual sales agreement itself. For the sale of real property and designation for the partition for the Boys and Girls Club. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt resolution 24-11, property partition, sale and designations as presented. A second.
Discussion?
So exciting.
Who's second?
Rebecca.
I seconded.
Thank you. Any other, somebody said they're excited?
I am.
Yes, okay.
Maybe like, can we just get some dirt moved?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Somewhere.
This is the next step in allowing the Boys and Girls Club to really get some teeth going on their capital campaign, and yeah, this will serve our community for a long time to come.
Really appreciate too the thoroughness. I know this has taken a long time, so just also really appreciate the team's thoroughness and really
Yes.
Having the expectations clear at the beginning so that there's no confusion.
Yes, yeah. The whole process has been very thoughtful, and it's been discussed. Why couldn't we do a land lease? And I think it's important for the record to make it clear why, and that's because owning the land was an essential requirement for the Boys and Girls Club to do a capital campaign. But what I love, and what we've discussed is we've built in a lot of safeguards for the school district that in essence makes it the effect of a land lease. We've put in contingencies around should the Boys and Girls Club ever need to sell the property. We've put in contingencies around what's required of their capital funds to even be able to start building the project, so we don't end up with a half completed building. We've put in contingencies around if they do sell the property, what rights the school district has. And that's for 30 years, which is actually very unprecedented in real estate law. If you know anything about it, I don't. I've learned through this process. I know some more now than I did before. So I wholeheartedly support this. The Boys and Girls Club has been a tremendous partner of ours for a long, long time, and I'm excited to see that continue. And I'm excited to see us expand opportunities for our kids, especially after school. I think after school is an area where we have some great things going on, but I think there are a lot of families who could use a bigger resource for that. And this will help us do that as well. So with that, we will take a vote. Nancy?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
I vote yes. Resolution is approved. Next, we have the sale and purchase agreement. Do I have a motion on this one?
I move to approve the Boys and Girls Club sales agreement as presented.
Holly moved, Nancy seconded. Thank you so much. Any further discussion? This is the actual document.
This is, I'll just say thank you to Jessica and board president, and thank you so much just for your patience continuing to work, and this is a super exciting time for the history of our district
As
too.
the
So
president of the board, I just want to say thank you so much. We're so excited. I keep hearing in the room, it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids for us. So this partnership is going to be amazing. We're toward the end of a capital campaign study to make sure that we have the funding and financing to do this right and do it for a minimum of 5 years. So really excited. I think it's going to be a great partnership. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
And I've really enjoyed working with your predecessor, Steve Spilker, as well, to get this to the finish line. So it's nice to see you here tonight, but I want to shout out Steve as well, who's a very professional, kid-centric person. And that's what I love too, is the two cultures really, we have a lot in alignment when it comes to serving kids. So thank you for being here tonight. Anything else? All right, Nancy?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
I vote yes. That was a good one. We're gonna take, we're an hour and a half in here. We'll take an 8-minute recess. Okay. We are back. Okay. Next item on the agenda is board member development. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt board policy BHB, board member development as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Sarah. Discussion?
I think this is a good first pass. And I appreciate you guys all, letting me bring this up and putting this on the agenda and passing it. And of course, you know, like any other policy, I assume in a year, we'll probably be like, hey, we should change this. So I appreciate you all being patient throughout the year
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing this to attention, and it was the right time to do this. And I think this is a good positive first edition, if you will. You know what I love about it too is it kind of cements our board's culture of training and development. I didn't really think about that at first, but putting this in policy says, hey, this is something we do, and now we have an official process for it.
Well, and I think our presence is known in other spaces.
Yeah, so many positive outcomes. Any further discussion? Nancy,
Yes.
Becca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick. Yes. Polly.
Yes.
I vote yes. Policy is approved. Board policy IIA, instructional materials. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt policy IIA, instructional materials, replacing current policy IIA as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Dawn. Discussion?
I really love how our district does this. Anyway, I feel like a lot of these we've already been doing as new adoptions. Looks like they're just catching up with us.
Any other discussion? Okay. Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Rick. Yes. Polly.
Yes.
I vote yes. Next are graduation requirements. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the changes to policy IKF graduation requirements as presented.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Nancy. Discussion?
I'll just say I'm very happy with this change. I think that it's something that many organizations for people for students on IEPs have advocated for a while, and I'm glad that the state is now honoring the strong advocates and the self-advocates that have spoken up at Salem.
Students, since this is a very directly impacting of students, do you have any comments or questions about this policy?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right here, actually.
Oh,
But it's.
It's L5. We talked about it a little
I
bit
was gonna
last.
say, I think we talked about it.
Okay.
last
But yeah, I think it's overall a good thing. I mean,
Okay.
giving people options when they need them.
Yeah.
Is really important.
Okay.
I mean, it's very last minute for me, but, if it's like extended diplomas, is that what Aubrey was saying, is that?
I think that's what it said. I read it before I got here, but I might be saying.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things on there.
Yeah.
So it's certificate of attendance.
Yeah.
It's the language Tiffany really gave us a great overview last time, probably could clue us in again this time.
Oh, it allows them to start like a month faster.
I think I have a better understanding because you spoke on it last time, it's kind of just like sitting in there, but yeah, I think overall there's one tremendous benefit to it.
Do you want me to give just a brief?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So, students that have disabilities and need special education have an IEP. And at times, instead of choosing a diploma option, like a regular diploma, a modified diploma, or an extended diploma, it allowed IEP teams to choose what's called a certificate of attendance, which, like, if a student graduates with a certificate of attendance, and tries to get a job, they can't mark that they have a diploma. So what it does is that it requires IEP teams to choose a type of diploma. So all students in special education need to be earning a diploma. Now, there's still an option for a certificate of attendance on an exceptional basis, but we can't have teams choosing to have a student just only go for a certificate of attendance.
You don't want to send every kid out like that.
Yeah, every student gets to have the opportunity to earn a type of diploma.
Wow, that's weird.
Are there parents involved in those decisions, or is it like a whole meeting, or is it just the team that meets up?
The parents are part of the team.
Cool.
And hopefully, in the student, especially when the student gets to middle school, I think that's one of our goals, correct me if I'm wrong, is the student leads the team. I know my son led most of his IEP team meetings.
Yeah.
And so the students are well involved, and if they need assistance, usually someone on the team will help them lead and talk to them so that their voice is definitely heard during the meeting. At least that's the goal. Isn't always that, but that's the goal.
Yeah, I know my sister was offered an extended diploma and stuff as a pro AP, and she doesn't need one, but it's something that is good for students to be able to have their thoughts spoken about from them. And I think that's, it's good that we have those options, but that we're not sending kids out into the world with diplomas that aren't diplomas.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very good. Good questions, great comments. We will vote. Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick. Yes. Polly.
Yes.
I vote yes. IKJ, artificial intelligence. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, you skipped.
Oh, did I skip one? Oh, sorry. Graduation exercise. Thank you. I have a motion for this one.
I move to approve changes to board policy IKFB graduation exercise as presented.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Rebecca. Discussion. Modifying with the previous policy, who can participate. I also love the addition of the items of cultural significance. I also love that it defines what that means and what it doesn't mean. So it's good. I wasn't at the meeting where you all discussed this. So, I did miss out.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
My birthday party.
Oh, yeah, it was Nora's birthday. I played that. Okay, any further discussion? Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
I vote yes. Policies approved. Artificial intelligence. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt board policy IKJ, artificial intelligence as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Rebecca. Discussion.
I'm sure this will be readopted again next year when things change.
We talked about this one.
Yeah.
Well, we can-
That's absolutely, yeah, so we're trying to have it, so we're discussing and then taking action, so you guys, yeah.
And did you all have a chance to weigh in on this last meeting? Okay,
I
good.
think we all decided it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. I don't support banning it.
Right.
I think that's the wrong way to go. So I'm glad this is where we've started and yeah, we might bring this policy back. Probably, we might have to bring it back monthly. So.
The drone was like every 3
Right.
months.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, we will vote. Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick, Polly,
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, JECA, admission of resident students. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve changes to board policy JECA, admission of resident students as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Sarah. Discussion. This is again kind of related to the certificate of attendance. Okay, Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick, Polly,
Yes.
I vote yes. JHCD medications.
We had a really rich discussion about this one.
That's what I was gonna say. Talked at length
It's
about
so
this
good.
one
You should
last
watch
time.
I'll have to watch
I
this.
was gonna tell him, they're recorded. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I was,
It's important to watch.
Did you know that was the new board policy? That
That
the
you have to
law
watch.
that went into effect on January 1st, that all boards must post theirs within 10 days.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
I
you
did
go.
know that.
So it was new. I move to adopt board policy
Know what happened.
JHCD medications replacing current policy JHCD, JHCDA.
A second.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Rebecca. Any more discussion? Okay, Nancy,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Dawn,
yes.
Rick, Polly,
Yes.
I vote yes.
Who seconded that?
Rebecca.
Sorry, I'll forget.
Rebecca's was technically tonight. And then the AR, which because it's medications requires us to adopt. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt policy JHCD-AR medications, which replaces the current policy JHCD-JHCDA-AR.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Polly. Discussion?
It's not really a discussion, but I just want to thank the board. We've loaded you up on policies this time and next time, just because we do have a full month in between each action. So thank you for going through these.
Yes.
I know it's a lot of policy and some dense material, but thank you.
It's all good stuff.
Less than the policy rewrite.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
We did that too.
Okay, any further discussion?
I do just want to say again that I really appreciate the really rich discussion that we had around this with our student reps last time. This was, there was a lot of really good information, clarification, shared.
Excellent. Okay, Nancy.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Rick. Polly.
Yes.
I vote yes. Policy AR is approved. Attached is the work session agenda. That will be at the high school. We'll have dinner at 5:15 and go through our presentations.
Is, Armadillo on here? Are they gonna be on?
Yeah.
ACCS, sorry,
Yeah.
forgot that they were the new acronym.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
And I do feel like it feels like a right time to be doing the JAB meeting, so I appreciate the board shifting it from November to January.
Yeah.
I think we had a good valuable work session after the OSBA annual conference, and I don't know if this timing feels better. I think it feels better for our admin, and they're looking forward to sharing, so.
Plus, and like a report card data.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sit with that and create goals and.
Good. Looking forward to seeing you all there. We are.
You're good.
Yep.
Now you're getting.
Yeah, I was like.
Because did you take 2 trips to get in here?
I think that was good.